Hello and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and Plague Inc. Evolved. We're going to continue with some more custom scenarios today. I'm going to have to figure out exactly how I want to record these things, because it's a little unusual for me to be picking up diseases I know nothing about. Usually going into the Mega Brutal disease types, I've done some research and I've made some attempts, so I know what I'm talking about and I can continue to talk. This stuff is all like new. What's this? Leprae Majoris. New strain of the leprosy ravages and wreaks havoc upon North India. This ancient disease has been known for centuries, but the new strain is more vicious and lethal than ever before. This scenario is difficult and not suitable for rookies. I don't really consider myself a rookie, so sure, let's subscribe and let's try that one out. Do we stick with our normal funsies? It's a bacteria type again. Sure, we'll stick with our go-to configuration. Again, we'll continue to play on normal because I don't have anything to prove, and we'll stick with the default name type. Handful of tips. Leprosy is well known to humanity, hence it will be easily stopped by modern medicine, and scientists won't find developing a cure difficult at all. Leprosy is very severe, so expect to be discovered early and cure development to come fast. Okay, that's useful information, thank you. Another handful of tips, I love this. Leprosy spreads at its best in warm, humid climates, yet the disease almost enters dormancy in cold and dry areas. Leprosy has been associated with social stigma for much of history. That's true, it's biblical, so expect people to avoid the infected. Look out for news reports in infected countries, good luck. Okay, I'm assuming there are going to be ways to overcome some of the downsides. Did they start already? There's no way they started on the cure research right away. I don't think so. Okay, so let's take a look-see. Oh, okay, we actually did start off with some evolutions here, but we'll see. So we can spread faster in water. Okay, useful, we'll want that. Nasal droplets. Liquid particles from the victim increases infectivity. Okay, but I think water's going to be more useful. It's also a lot more expensive. Interesting. Symptoms. We started off with sneezing. Okay, for infectivity. Pharyngitis. Ooh, I've had this before. This sucks. Irritated throat causes discomfort, no kidding, and increases likelihood that coughing will spread disease. Okay. Skin lesions. Ugh, yeah, that's leprosy, all right. And peripheral nerves malfunction. Granulomas of the nerves renders victims unable to feel pain and thus causes loss of parts and extremities due to repeated injuries. There's a very famous but exceptionally rare disease called SIPA that does something kind of like that. But it's not quite leprosy, it's just literally you have no senses at all, no physical nerves. Abscesses will be available to us, anemia will be available to us, pneumonia. That might be super important for us because we're going to have so much trouble in the cold. What kind of special abilities do we got? Contagion expansion unlocks the most infectious aspect of the disease. Okay, so it looks like we have to spend some points just to access the rest of the abilities. Lethality expansion, don't want that right away. Resilience. This might be important, unlocks the hardest to cure aspect of the disease. Do these open up to additional paths, or is it really going to be that simple? I'm not sure. Okay, well, we're probably going to start with our standard opening of water. I would think that that's going to be really useful to us, don't you think? I think so. We are starting off with a bit of severity and lethality, which is actually a little bit upsetting, but at the same time, the extra severity does mean we're going to get extra DNA right off the bat. Okay, so water level 1 will lead to vapor, good in hot countries, okay, and then water level 2, better for ship transmission. Vapor might be good. We are going to be, it did say we're going to want to stick to hot and humid climates for a while, so that's going to be really useful. Pylons, vital to high-tech society. You must construct additional pylons. I remember that guy. Sure, so let's go for vapor right away then. And it doesn't look like that's unlocked anything. It says it would, but it hasn't. Interesting. Okay, so maybe we want to grab resilience fairly early on, or maybe we just want to wait until they start working on the cure. Maybe we go for the infectivity. Unlocks the most infectious aspect of the disease. Of course, the more infective we are off the bat, the more likely that they're going to detect us and start working on a cure. Maybe we don't for a little bit. Maybe we just kind of want to build up our transmission, standard transmission options. Do we go for nasal droplets? Okay, that leads to nasal droplets level 2. Okay, I'm guessing then that these are locked until we do the contagion expansion. Unlocks the most infectious aspect of the disease because we want more infectivity. I bet you these stay locked until we pick that up. That would seem sensible, and also, that's very interesting. Whoa, we spread a little bit. Let's go for the infection. Ooh, it also unlocked some new abilities. And yes, okay. Fomites, good for urban. Rain, okay. Air. Cold 1, that's super important for us. Some new symptoms, which I'm guessing those are also not available to us until later. Painkiller level 1. Destroyed peripheral nerves are unable to respond to pain. Victims are less likely to notice being ill, reduces severity. That could be really good for us. Regeneration 1. Reduces lethality. Ooh! So now we have a couple of ways. It said this was about trying to increase our infectivity, but at the same time, these are both good ways to try and avoid detection. Interesting. We're killing a lot of people, by the way. Maybe we do want regeneration. Sure, let's reduce our lethality. Do you want regeneration level 2? Sure, let's reduce our lethality even more. Less likely to be a huge problem if we're not killing as many people. New worrying disease spreading. Nah, no kidding. Okay. Well, we need some more transmission options for us. Let's go for blood level 1. Good for poor regions, but otherwise I don't really care. Fomites? I mean, theoretically, people aren't going to be touching each other when you have leprosy, so... Rain increases land transmission and infectivity. Pathogen can travel within rain clouds? Ooh. Cold 1, though. So important. I know it's gonna be important. Pneumonia, also. Very important. Maybe we want to go for resilience expansion, though. Let's just pick it up and let's see what it opens for us, because we already know that they're going to try to work on curing us. In fact, yeah, we're going to want to have drug resistance level 1 probably pretty soon before the genetic drift makes things really expensive. Then again, this is normal mode. Maybe there's not a genetic drift to worry about. Ooh, we also managed to upgrade zoonotic transmission. Pathogen is able to be carried by animals, mainly livestock. New vector is easier to be spotted, but increases infectivity, especially in rural environment. Easier to be spotted. We've already been spotted, but maybe we don't want that. At least not for a bit. Okay. Well, I'm going to go for cold level 1. Okay, it just unlocks cold level 2. Not quite as resoundingly awesome as I might have hoped. The extra deaths are going to give us additional DNA points, but of course it means that people are going to work on that cure pretty quickly. Drug resistance level 1. That's going to unlock genetic reshuffle. Okay, so these are the basic things that we usually would have had access to. We just had to spend a few extra points to get them. India has started working on a cure. No surprise there, considering the circumstances. Central nervous system failure. Progressing nerves granulomas reaches deep inside nervous structure, causing seizures and hindering brain motor function, significantly harder to cure and can be lethal. That's probably pretty good. Okay, so this unlocks a set of symptoms that will be able to reduce cure progress. So it's almost like picking up genetic hardening, but it's going to be a lot cheaper for us. That might be good. Maybe. Maybe. Oof, this is actually going to be a really tough plague. Doop. So, do we want something like water too? So we're better at ship transmission. Yes, and we're also going to need cold level 2. I just guarantee it's going to be a requirement. In fact, we probably want to pick up pneumonia as well. So let's go grab cold 2, because we know we want to spread up north. It's just a necessity at this point. Doop. Pneumonia is pretty cheap. Let's grab it. That would lead to pulmonary fibrosis, which is lethal. Not interested in that quite yet. Anything else? Painkiller, reducing severity. I mean, reducing severity sounds good if we were trying not to be detected and have people work on the cure. At the same time, that would reduce the amount of DNA we're going to get. Maybe painkillers is a trap. Maybe we don't go for that. I could reduce lethality even more, but we are getting some DNA out of that as well. So maybe not. Oof, this is tough. India shuts down airports. Okay, I think we want to get rain, actually, because we're already really good at spreading through water of various sorts, and this would increase land's transmission as well. Could get rain 2. That's 25. Blood is good for poor countries, but otherwise I don't think it's going to be that useful to us. We got into Russia. We're getting around to some of these countries that are going to have a hard time getting the infectivity spread. Maybe we do want rain level 2. Further increases land, and that's a lot of infectivity. And it also, the fact that it's land transmission means that it doesn't have to spread by ship or by plane, it just simply crosses the borders. There's nothing you can do about it, because what are you gonna do? Shoot down a rain cloud? Ha ha ha, I'm just a little black rain cloud, showering leprosy upon you all. Alright. That's a lot more points for us. I like that. Let's go ahead and grab Air 1. We're going to spread through the arid regions pretty quickly, which is good because we're going to need to spread a little bit further through Africa. I suspect Rain 1, 2, and Water 1 and 2 is going to make us really good in South America as well. We are already, though, as resistant to the cold as it seems like we're going to be able to get. Do we want paralysis? Harder to cure. I like that idea. That will lead to muscles degeneration. Victims can hardly move, reduces infectivity, but significantly harder to develop a cure. Potentially useful for us. Or coma, which is sometimes lethal, but also significantly harder to cure. So 2 different paths to the same kind of thing. I don't know about things like abscesses or anemia. Maybe anemia. I don't know. That's only 2 points. Sure, we'll pick that up as well. That leads to some new things. Nausea. Well, no one's going to kiss a person with leprosy, I'm just guessing. Fatigue. Hindered nutrients transportation makes victims feel constantly tired and unwilling to maintain physical activity. Reduces infectivity but slows down research speed. Potentially actually really good for us. Here's the thing, I'm noticing that even though India is supposed to be working on the cure, India, Egypt, Indonesia, they're still making no progress whatsoever, which kind of makes me feel like these things that are going to reduce the ability of people to develop a cure is really good. As long as healthy countries don't start working on a cure, we're fine. But Egypt and India and so on, they're already like completely infected. So they're not going to be able to make any progress toward the cure, even though it says that they're working on it, which is very advantageous to me. Good, we spread a little bit further through Europe. Do we unlock lethality expansion so we can find out what our other options are going to be? Yes, I want to know. Decay level 1. Pathogen stimulates growth of microbes in open wounds. Some of the dead tissue begins to rot, increases lethality. Okay, also some symptoms here. I see hemophilia. Infectivity increased, preventing blood clotting. Possibly good. What do we do in this case? Maybe we want to get drug resistance level 2. Okay, I see some cure progress starting to work here. Looks like a couple other people may have joined the fight. Not good for me. Eye cure device. Released date to be determined. So yeah, I think we want drug resistance so we are better in wealthy countries, and maybe we do want fomites so we'll be able to spread in the urban countries of Europe and the United States a bit faster. The United States does count as urban, right? Yes, it does, which is hilarious to me because the United States, while it does have some pretty strong urban population, is also very rural in a lot of places, so I'm surprised that counts, but maybe we do want fomites level 1 then. Increases infectivity in urban environments. That could be really good for us. What about places like Russia, though? This is rural. I hate that word. I hate that word so much. Rural. See, the reason I'm wondering about the rural stuff is because zoonotic transmission, yes, it means we're easier to spot, but at least we're spreading significantly faster in places like Russia. I think we're going to go with fomites level 1, though. Increase our passive infectivity in Europe and in the United States. Now, again, part of the reason being, if we can infect those nations a lot, then we're going to have so many things that mean that infected people can't work on the disease or the cure, that maybe that actually will work out really well for us. Maybe. Let's see. Hemophilia, good for infectivity, but otherwise not a big deal. Coma could be nice. Or fatigue. I could just get fatigue. It does slightly reduce infectivity. Not much from what I see, though. So let's go ahead and pick that up and reduce research speed. Weakness decreases infectivity due to lowered physical... I'm sure this means it's supposed to be activity, but there's a typo. Activity. Slows down research speed. Same thing as fatigue, just a little bit stronger. Okay. Abilities. I don't want to increase lethality right now, because that'll get more people working on a cure. Canada is leading the global cure efforts. Muscles degeneration just developed for free, whether I like it or not. Which is what? This one. Reduces infectivity a little bit, but again, significantly harder to cure. Okay. You know, I'm okay with it. Not a big deal. Zoonotic transmission would be really good. Sure, let's pick it up. And that leads to, what's this? Mysterious transmission. Pathogen spontaneously arrives in a random country via an unknown mysterious way. May Greenland know that resistance is futile. Oh, we've got to pick up mysterious transmission. Who would have known that this heightened version of leprosy was initiated by the Borg? That said, it looks like we already infected Greenland and Iceland. In fact, it looks like we've infected every country in the world. Also, why are these countries super red? Is this something that also changed in the game? It looks to me like once you've hit critical mass, the map changes again. Oh, interesting. That's new. Very new. I like it. But I think we are going to have to avoid using mysterious transmission. I mean, it's really cool, but since we've hit every single country, I don't think it's that useful. Let's go for fomites. Anything else we can do to increase infectivity? Sure, hemophilia is super cheap. That leads to hypertension, can be lethal. Potentially pretty good as far... It's not a lot of lethality, but a little bit of lethality and extra dead people means extra DNA for me. So sure, let's start building our lethality back up. Immune suppression, again, can be lethal. Not quite what I want. Hemotysis? Coughing up blood from inflamed bronchi increases infectivity and is fatal in extreme cases. I wonder if that combos really well with Blood 1. Maybe. Epistaxis or epistaxis, hemorrhage of the nasal mucous membranes causes severe nosebleeds, increasing likelihood of infection. Pulmonary fibrosis, maybe we want abscesses. That's only 2, sure. Sweating, more dangerous in cold countries. That's something I want. Also fever. No, not quite. But yeah, better increased infectivity for cold countries is good. I think we're about to start hitting critical mass in the USA. Greenland, Iceland, Canada, all the cold countries are going to be serious issues for us. I'm just telling them right now. So the danger becomes, do I want to increase our lethality? I don't know. I don't know about that. We're already resistant to drugs. We're as resistant to the cold as we're allowed to be. And we're effective in all these other ways. I don't think that Air 2 is going to help us much. Maybe just straight up nasal droplets? Or maybe I just keep going with symptoms because they're cheap. I don't know if what can I do that's not lethal? Not much. Everything is lethal at this point. Nausea, I guess. Sure, we'll pick it up. Pulmonary fibrosis is fairly cheap. Especially useful in hot climates. Sure. This leads to pulmonary oedemia. Okay, releasing the pathogen into the air. That again is apparently lethal, potentially fatal heart abnormality. Causes breakdown of respiratory system. You see, you would think that those two are totally separate systems, but apparently not. Weakness, again, maybe we just need to reduce the research speed and just buy ourselves time at this point. Sure, we're going to accept lower infectivity, but not pick up the lethality in order to reduce research speed a bit more. In fact, let's pick up genetic hardening level 1 as well. It did kind of warn us that that was going to be one of our serious issues, was they're going to be able to cure us pretty quickly. China begins to break down. Canada, and also Greenland. You guys are a problem for me. Genetic hardening level 2. Let's start stashing up some points then. And let's kind of let these guys start building up toward critical mass, because if we increase our lethality too early, I think we're sunk. Profuse bleeding symptom combo. Hemophilia and skin lesions are causing the infected to have blood pouring out of their skin. Oh my god, that is a terrifying picture. Let's see. Looks like pretty much the entire world has started working on the cure, but we are starting to destroy some of the cure progress. I think we have to pick up coma at this point. That would lead to hydrocephalus, increasing intracranial pressure, highly lethal without treatment, and extremely hard to cure. I mean, we're just buying ourselves time right now. And yeah, that definitely reduced things a bit. It looks like we were hitting critical mass in a few places. I kind of wanted to get a bit higher than this. Okay, now we've hit a point where I feel like we can start killing people. Good. So let's go ahead and pick up decay level 1. Let's just sort of see how that plays before we pick up more. Yeah, it seems to be like we're doing fine. We're definitely still hitting critical mass in these countries, so sure. What else is super freaking lethal? Decay level 2 would get us that much lethality for 14 points. You know what else we could do for funsies? Oh, I can't devolve regeneration? Oh man, I was about to say, I think we found a way to break the game. Just devolve these things and bam! Super fast lethality increase. But no, they thought of that. Smart people. Okay, so fever is fairly lethal. Costs 9 DNA instead. That's 26. This actually would do exactly what we want to do, reduce the cure progress and also start killing people. So sure, that seems perfect, and that would lead to intracranial hemorrhage. Extremely lethal and nearly impossible to cure. Pulmonary edema just developed for free, that's a little extra lethality for us. It looks to me like there's almost no uninfected people left in the world, just a little bastion of freedom left in Canada. That won't last for very long. Maybe we want immune suppression. We could go to suffocation. Holy crap. 15 points for super lethality. Liquid accumulation in lungs makes victims unable to breathe. Sure. I'm sorry, but we now need to suffocate all of you. No healthy people left in the world. My god, this is freaking horrifying. Intracranial hemorrhage sounds pretty good. Reducing the cure progress is going to make things really nice for us as far as our overall score. So we'll do that. We're at 49 points. Let's pick it up. What are some of these, though? What are we missing? There's things that I haven't figured out yet. I want to know. Can you show me? I want to know about the strangest lightning. Also, the little hidden symptoms in Plague Inc. Evolved custom scenario. Do we just grab mysterious transmission for the heck of it? Sure. This officially tells me that if we're going to spread via an unknown mysterious way, either aliens are involved, or this is like the apocalypse as proclaimed by God in Revelation. You know, one of those horsemen, pestilence horsemen, he arrived, and now he's killing everybody through leprosy. We never saw it coming. Terrifying, absolutely terrifying. Let's pick up a genetic reshuffle. Now that would lead to genetic scrambling. Finding patterns is much harder, so this is another version of a genetic hardening. Interesting. Okay, so we're finding out a little bit of stuff that I otherwise wouldn't have known before I beat this, but still, that's pretty cool. The patterns are extraordinary, and it's set to eradicate humanity. Anything we can pick up for 14 points that would get us a little bit of extra score. Sure, let's pick up, let's just pick up immune suppression. Bam. That would lead to systematic infection. Maybe you can only access these this direction. Also, immunodeficiency. Gosh dang, there's a lot in this one. These custom scenarios, man, I'm telling you. Alright, we managed to destroy the world in just over a year, actually. That was surprisingly quick. And we got 2 out of 3 stars, so there are ways to improve. But we didn't do half bad on our first ever attempt, and it did say this was not for rookies. I feel pretty good that we managed to beat it on the first try. I liked that. That was good. These custom scenarios are awesome. How have I never known about this? Man, I'm going to be doing a lot more of these in the future, I can tell you that much. Hoo boy. Yeah, that took us practically no time at all. We got a lot of DNA thanks to that early game severity. It actually didn't hurt us too much. And there were so many ways to combat the cure progress that it wasn't a big deal. Yes, I enjoyed that quite a bit. That was awesome. Well done, guys. And I'm going to continue doing a lot of these 5-star ones. At some point, we may want to do some of the less rated ones and just kind of see if there are some good scenarios still out there that haven't been discovered yet. I don't know. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, I like this a lot. Plague Inc. custom scenarios are cool, man. Granted, I'm playing on normal. Some people will say, oh, you're only playing on normal, you loser. You could probably play on hard on that. No, I'm just having fun, man. This is about exploring what other people have created, not trying to break the game, you know? I don't need to prove myself. I've already beaten the game on Mega Brutal. So live with it. I'm just going to have fun from here on out. Thank you guys for watching. This has been Pravus. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe for future content. And I, as always, will see you guys next time.